Good morning, student. So today I'll going to start a new topic. Under that, there are many chapters are there. Under this particular topic, the topic is a database management system working with Microsoft Access. Under the database management system, first I will going to give you the theoretical concept. The theoretical concept that what is a database management system, how we can work on this database management system, what are the different pattern of keys. So all these different concept that I will going to discuss with you, and after that we will go to the practical implementation of it. Okay, so let us start our discussion. So database concept. What is a database concept? What we can find that we have a database concept. A database is a collection of a data or information. Data or information means that we can say that data means what? Data is the raw and unprocessed fact. Okay, and information means what? Information means the finished product. So some data can be an information, and some information can be the data of another one. So this is what we can find, that this particular thing which are organized so that we can easily access and manage and update it. So what do you mean by a database? Database means what we can show and what we can find it is a collection of rows, columns, isn't it? There will be a rows, columns in a table. So suppose you think about a table. In a table there is a student name, then age, phone number, subject taken, fee paid, all these things, they are the column heading. Then I am giving the registration number, suppose 101, then a name Vishal, then the particular student having a concept, suppose in English he has got 89, in Hindi or in maths the particular person has got 60. So this way what we are giving those type of concept. That means index is easier to find the relevant informations. Okay, what are the informations there? Based on that relevant information, we can see it that we can have this particular concept. So when we are having this particular concept, when we find that we have this concept, that means it contain the various objects. What are they? Like table, queries, report, and it has the things to be organized in a certain way. So when we are organizing them in a certain way or in a certain manner, we can find it that how those structures or how those pattern are being implemented. So when we are implementing them, when we find it that we have those particular pattern of implementation, this is what we can say that we are working on the data. So as we are working on the data, why do we need the particular database? What is the requirement of our database system? So requirement of the database system that we can find, that we have, that this particular database concept that we are doing to manage a large chunks of data, isn't it? Huge amount of data are there. So those the huge amount of data what are there, we need to arrange them. So as we are arranging them, we will find what is the accuracy matter is there. Those huge problem or those huge data we are managing in a very large quantity. Now what we get the accuracy means those the validation rules in the data, and data accuracy can be maintained. Easy to update the data. We can easily update the data, and we can find it how much flexible those data are. So what we see that security system, what is the security of the data that we have given, and data integrity. There are the different pattern of the data that we can find that their integrity means assuring that constant they are built in and integrated to check all these things. Now database management system, DBMS. DBMS what refers to a software that responsible for storing and maintaining and utilizing the database in an efficient way. That means in an efficient way we want to maintain it, we want to work on it. So a database along with a software, DBMS software, is called an database software. So example of those software like Oracle, MS SQL, Server, MS Access, that we will going to do. MS SQL also, in Access I'll show you the SQL operation, then Paradox, then Database 2, MySQL, all these things are there. So MySQL is a free software, and with an Access how we can use it, that I will show you the implementations. Okay, advantages, many advantages are there, many pattern of advantages we can see the database do have. As you have seen the picture, what is it? It is a drum shape. Okay, it is a drum shape. So in this particular drum shape, what are the things that we can have, and how we can build it and how we can work on it. So this the concept that we can find, this is the concept that we are working, that first and foremost, database reduce the redundancy. Redundancy means same thing is coming again and again. Duplicate value of the data can be removed. Okay, only one value related to it can be kept. Like suppose previously what you can see, a particular person have a voter card in Bihar, in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, in Uttar Pradesh, in West Bengal, in Assam. So many voter card one particular person possess. Now what happen, when you go for the voter card, you will be allotted with number, and that number is your unique number. So wherever you will go, based on that unique number you can find it. Like your Aadhaar card also, what you can find, Aadhaar card has got an unique number, and when you see this particular unique number, wherever you go, whichever place you go, if you give that unique number, your all the details will come in from the Aadhaar card. So what we just find it, that we are seeing that government of India has imposed to link your ration card with an Aadhaar card, voter card with the Aadhaar card, etc., etc. So that means what, that when government will click on that particular number, all the details regarding to you, you have Aadhaar card, have you got the ration card, have you got the EPF, that means this tax accounts or not, are you giving the tax return or not. So every details of your will be in a fingertip of the government. Okay, next what we can find it. So this is what, therefore redundancy, government don't have to write in everywhere your name, your details, only one number can uniquely give it. So this is what we say, that it will going to reduce the redundancy matter of redundancy. That means the thing will going to come again and again. Okay, now database control inconsistency. There are the different type of inconsistencies matters are there. Okay, so all these inconsistencies matter that also be controlled by this particular database system. Fine. So when we are having the database system, when we are maintaining those database system, in this particular database system, what we can find it, that we have those data and we are accessing on this data. Fine. So next what we can say, database share facilities, sharing the data. That means all those data what database wants to share, all those part of the data what we can find the database is sharing, that will going to be there. That database ensure the matter of security, how much the data is secure, how much the security measures are there, how much it is provide an accidental proof, isn't it? Unauthorized particular person cannot take it. So all these things what we can find, it will be there. Then what we can find, database management and integrity. That means it will going to show you the integrity pattern, validity of the data in an integrated way. So database management, what models, what we have different types of database. What is that? Relational database. Okay, relational database means in this model what we can find, data is organized in a relational way. That means row, column. Okay, with that row and column in represent to the relational or with the other values or other tuples, we can find the record will be there. Network, next what we can find, network data model. What is the network data model is there, and how we can create the network data model. Networking system, the data are being implemented. Hierarchical model. Hierarchical model means in this model what we have, the records of the organizations like a tree structures, and at the top of the row from the button, and then we have an object oriented database model. Okay, so this the database model represent in an object phase. Collection of a similar type of data can be implemented and can be worked. Now see, relational database. What do you mean by a relational database? A relational database is a collective set of a multiple data set organized by the table, records, columns. Relational database establish what well defined relation between the database table. Okay, so table communications are sharing the information which facilitates the data searchability, organize and reports. So a relational database use the structure query model that I will show you, SQL. In the Access only I will show you the SQL, which is a standard application of this particular purpose to be interact. So when we are talking about it, you see here that this is the table that we have. In this particular table, what we can find, you see that those are the tuples. That means each row is said as a tuple. Okay, and S hash, that is said as primary key. Primary key means unique key which cannot be duplicated, like your Aadhaar card number. This is also a primary key. Okay, so as S hash means S number. Okay, name, state, city, all these things are said as domain. Okay, so this is what, this is the cardinality of the value. Attribute, how many attribute there are, those the attributes we find, and degree is what, the how many columns are there, 4 columns, so 4 degree is 4. So this is the way that we can make it. So relational data model, what we can find, a table has a matrix like a structure, and we are arranging them and we are making it to be organized. That means atomicity means a column assembled with an unique name must have an atomic individual values, and those the values can be further subdivided. No duplicacy is there. Okay, no duplicacy of the data can be done. So all the data are of a same type, that means homogeneous type of data. Ordering. There are what, there are first domains. Domains means a collection of the values which we have derived from the column. Tuples, entity, record, all are the same thing. Row of a table is called a tuple, entity, or the records. Okay, attribute fields, there are the table column is called its attribute or field. Degree means number of columns. Cardinality means number of rows. So this often comes, that find out what is the degree of a table, what is the cardinality of the table. Okay, this is what we can find, that will be there, and based on this particular thing that we will going to have this particular structures. Now I will come to the key concept. There are the different type of key, like composite key, primary key, candidate key, alternative key, foreign key, lot of keys concepts are there. So the main key concept, key means what, key play a very main role in the database management system. If you identify a particular data in an unique row number, you establish it, and you can find it, they are being needed. So primary key, what we can say, the primary key is a set of a column of table which uniquely identifies it. Okay, candidate key is an attribute or the set of attributes or the keys participate in the primary key. That means this is what is an unique identity of each record. Alternate key, out of all the key candidate key, only we get to select the primary key and we can rename it. So foreign key is those keys, suppose primary key of any table when used in some another table, that is said as a foreign key. That means this way we can make the linking among the tables. Okay, this is the way that we can provide the link among the tables. See here, database concept. In this database concept, you see here, this is primary key. Okay, this particular section is your primary key. Okay, this particular section is the primary key. Now this the primary key, this key and this key, this license number, it also can be a primary key. It passport number also can be the primary key. So those things forms your candidate key. Okay, those things form the candidate key. When you take a candidate key, see this license number and unique number, they forms what? Unique key. Okay, and they are also been treated as an alternate key. So see here that employee id of this particular table and employee id of this particular table, they are same. So employee id of this table, employee table, has become a foreign key of what? Salary table. Now when we combine two keys and we make one key, that is said as a composite key. Okay, so this is the thing that we can see, this is the thing that you can find, that you have this particular pattern, you have this particular structure, and in this particular structure how we are working and we are making it. So those the key what we say, that means I am repeating it again. Primary key means this particular key is said as a key which is a set of more than one data, and it can be uniquely identified. Okay, it can be uniquely identified. So from here what we can get it, one concept, that is an RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. Okay, Relational Database Management System. So RDBMS is there, and there what we can find, we have the attributes, we have the tuples, and as we have the attributes and tuples, all these attributes and all these tuples what we can find, they are being arranged and they are being made in a certain form. Okay, so when they are made in a certain form or certain way, there we find that we have a candidate key, we have the composite key, we have the foreign key, we have the super key, we have the unique key, we do have an alternate key, and when we are having all this particular pattern of keys, we are making structures, and based on these structures what we can find, we can implement it and we can do that particular work. Okay, so when we do the particular work, when we can find that we have those particular pattern or particular work, that we can do it, and we can make the particular thing, and we can implement those particular pattern or particular structures. Okay, so this is how we can see, this is how we can find it, that when we are constructing it, when we are making it, we are giving particular satisfactions, we are giving the particular pattern to it, and based on this particular pattern what we can find it, they are being implemented and they are being worked in a certain way or certain manner. So as they are working in a certain way or certain manner, those the implementation that we are giving in the database, this is what our database is. That means in our table we will going to have the columns, and in each of the column there will be some values, that means there will be a number of rows. So each of the columns they has got some uniqueness on it. Some are said as a primary key which can be uniquely defined. Okay, there you can see employee ID is a primary key for the employee table because it cannot be duplicated. License number, passport number, this is also can be treated as a frame of what your different pattern of keys like candidate key or unique key or alternate key. So when we are considering them, when we are making them, we can find it that they are also unique in nature. If employee ID is not there, and if we are using in some another table, what we will going to find that license number we can use as a primary key, or this passport number also we can use as a primary key. So this is what we can find, that they can combine and they can make what? A super key. That means your candidate key, primary key and unique key can combine and make a super key. That is what the super key structure or concept is. Composite key. Now what do you mean by a composite key? When a foreign key of another table and when one primary value of another that particular table are make and built up into one section that is said as a composite key. So this is the way, or this is the pattern that we are making the database. We are working on the database. Now when we are working on the database, when we are implementing those database, each and every database, there are the different structures and different type of work that we are doing and we are maintaining. Okay, so each of this particular work that we are doing and maintaining, we have our different structures, we have our different patterns, and we can make the different concept of implementation of the data and working with the database. Now after this is what the concept of the database I have discussed today. Okay, thank you all.